chosen ones, empaths, and all the genuine souls. This narcissist that you've now found out was someone who portrayed themselves in your life as decent, as loving, as caring, as supportive. They were portraying themselves in a light, as they're a being of light, right? And you should never overlook that. Why were they doing that? Why were they pretending? Why were they doing that? You might say, oh, it's because they wanted to take advantage, because they wanted to exploit. Yes, but they also didn't want to be found out. Now, why didn't they want to be found out by you? Okay? Why didn't they want to be found out by you? Because they hold you in a high regard. They idolized you when they were around you initially. They idolized you. They wanted to appear as someone worthy to be in your company. They tried to take the whole power from you. Like they wasn't the one punching and reaching to be around you. They tried to change the whole dynamics because it grates on them. Because the longer they're around you and they're pretending and masquerading without official light, is the more it takes a toll on them. But they never wanted to be found out. They never wanted you to see them as a phony, a fake, inauthentic. They never wanted you to see that way. So focus on that, okay? You have the power. Once a narcissist starts playing up, don't dive deep into, trying to fix things, trying to chase them. But like, nah. Like if you're still in talking terms, be like, nah, you've disrespected. I don't want to continue this friendship, this romantic relationship, whatever. Just be like that, straight, blunt. Okay? You gotta be that way. And that will put them in a vulnerable position. Not like that that will put them in a vulnerable position for them. Alright? If they were authentic, they'll be like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean it that way. Or not even like they would just say sorry, but they'll try to get to an understanding between the people that are involved, right? Whether it's a group of friends, romantic relationship, boss, whatever, they'll try to get an understanding, a resolution behind what's going on. Difference with the narcissist is they're going to start to fret, they're going to start to panic, they're going to start to lash out, so that's why you need to get the hell away from them, right? I always advise you to get out quietly, but if you can't do it, just tell them you don't want to be around them, all right? Thing is you can be in some dysfunctional relationships, even friendships, where there's a lot of bullying going on and a lot of putting others down and things like that, and you just don't need to keep company like that. You just really, really don't. And you need to know that all of these individuals that have been affiliating with you through your life, that have turned out to be narcissists, right? They really did not want you to see them as a phony, as a snake, as a fake. And that's often why they can't confront you. Really, I have to break it down to what it is. That's why a lot of them can't confront you. They don't have the mental fortitude. They've got too much of a big ego to just confront you and apologize or say something like that, right? And it's because they were portraying being something else entirely, right? They were portraying being something else entirely from what they really are. So please hyper focus in on that. Why were they doing this? Why were they pretending? Why were they doing these things, right? Hyper focus in on that is key. It's very, very important to hyper focus in on the reasons why the narcissist was pretending. All right, you're never going to fully unpack it all because they have agendas and motives and things like that. But really, when you look at the basis of what it is they don't deem the person who they truly are to be compatible around you. They don't deem that person worthy within inside their own psyche, inside their own selves. They don't deem themselves to be worthy around the company of you, an authentic soul, a chosen one, a genuine soul. They don't deem themselves worthy, right? And that stands for a lot. So never forget that. Don't forget that. Okay? Even they don't have the last laugh. Let me assure you, they don't have the last laugh. Okay? They create drama, they create chaos, but they're the one that needs you. You learn, the chosen one empath, a genuine soul, learns to deal that they don't need them. They don't need them in their life. They don't need a friend that's a narcissist, or a romantic relationship that's a narcissist, or a boss that's a narcissist, or whatever. Like you reach that point when you think, nah, I don't need that. I'll go another way. Okay, and even if it's come to where they pulled away first, or they tried to create some drama or some chaos first, it's you know, it's your ticket out of there. It's your golden ticket out of there, right? So please focus in on these things, right? It stands for a lot. When the reason why people pretend to be a certain way, and it happens all the time, friends mirror, romantic relationships mirror, family mirror. They pretend to be something that they're not, just to be in your presence. And that's because you're powerful. People are worried about your judgment. They want to stay in your good books. And you might say, but hi Zion, like, why did it get so bitter and nasty and twisted? Because they can't contain it. Like I always say, they can't contain the performance. They can't put up the performance that it takes to keep you under the illusionary, deception, right? Under a delusion. They can't keep you in that state of mind, because God's got another plan for you. The universe has got another plan for you, and wanted you to wake up, right? This is divine intervention why this happens, right? They knew time was running out. They realized that you're either going to go somewhere else, you're going to start affiliating with other people, you're going to get sick of them. I'm telling you, they always play the victim afterwards. Once they realize that you don't want no part with them, they'll play the victim, or they might try and bully you more, right? To try and be in your life, or have some connection, or get their hooks in. They're fucking freaks. Excuse my language, but they're freaks, right? So, when you've discovered a phony, don't let it hurt your heart. They've deceived God first. They've deceived the universe first. They've gone against what authentic moral principles are about in this life. And I'm not saying we're all perfect, but they have gone against that. Okay, they have gone against what it takes to be a decent person, and that's something they don't want you to know, or they didn't want you to know. So when they get exposed, that's why I say get out quietly. Okay, I reckon phasing it out with people is the best way. Just distancing yourself, finding other company. Say you had a friend that's a narcissist or a psychopath or a sociopath, and you really didn't want to be around them. It's like, go and find other things to do, right? Away from them. Try and be separate from them, because they can drain you out. Okay? And you have the right to say no. That's something that the empath chosen one, genuine soul, has struggles with. They say no. They get caught in the confines of these toxic relationships because they can't say no. And it took me a long time to work out how to say no. Like, like I've said no in the past, but I mean, just focusing on myself and saying no, you have to be able to do that. We all have to be able to do that. And it's a real hate. It's a real hate of these toxic individuals once the empath genuine soul learns how to say no, right? It really, really is. So just embrace it. I never wanted you to see them. Try and reflect and reflect on why they didn't want you to figure them out. Look into their masquerading with artificial light, and realize that, this person was reaching for you, right? You might have pedestalized them, but really they were reaching for you to be around be affiliated with you. And this happens in friendships, bosses, romantic relationships, all the relationships, family units. They were generally punching and reaching to be around you. You're cut from a different cloth. You're from a different creed, compared to these disgusting parasites. So anyway, thanks for listening today. I really appreciate the support. Please book a session if you'd like to. I'm now available 24 hours across all time zones. If you want further support, check out my membership package. My EP Ascension has dropped. It's like a healing music. Links for all you need are in the description box below. And I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.